Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Upriver Crawfish. This is your host, Sankar, bringing you another update on the Ethiopian war. Right now, we are looking at Gashena, and we'll talk a little about Gashena, the battle around there, because there's a lot of fighting going on around there. So we'll talk about Gashena. There are other places we'll talk about. There's Lalibela and Woldiya, the highway, the Mekelle Woldiya Highway, and the the town of Kobo. If you've been here with us and watching the channel, you will know that I like to give you an orientation before I zoom back in. For those who knew, that's what this is about. So I will be pulling out to give a bird's eye view. So here is Ethiopia, and the areas affected by the conflict is this area in pink and gray and deeper gray here. Now we'll go in. I'll focus on that. Let me show you where Addis Ababa is. So Addis Ababa is right here. Now this here is Tigray. This area here is Tigray. The lighter gray, I will call it gray, blue. This lighter area is the areas that the TPLF have in Tigray. This green area is the areas that the TPLF have advanced outside of Tigray and into the Amhara region. These darker gray areas is where the Ethiopian National Defense Forces have sealed off the border in Tigray. Okay. Now, our focus will be around here, which is Gashena. Now, if you remember, for those who's been on, you remember I've pointed out that the Ethiopian forces needed to attack to do a pincer movement, attacking from the flanks against the TPLF. And when they attack from the flanks, if it's strong enough, if the TPLF are smart, operationally sound, and they got good military commanders, they will have to pull back rather than let their men get cut off. So that's what the Ethiopian government did, and the TPLF was all the way somewhere down here. They had to pull back up a little. But now they have launched a counteroffensive. That counteroffensive have, as the reports say, and for now, we take some of the mainstream reports to be true because I have nothing else saying that is false. It could be that they are lying, but I have nothing else saying that they are lying. So I'll take their word for it that the TPLF retook Lalibela and they retook Gashena. From my reports outside of the mainstream, the fighting is still around Gashena, especially heavy, because the Gashena actually changed hands a couple of times. That's what I've heard. Now, my thought is why the TPLF will push out west, more into Amhara territory. You would think that they will want to push out east, south and east, so as to be able to cut off the Ethiopian government from from the corridor, the trade corridor with Djibouti, to put pressure on them. But it could also be because maybe they're not pushing east because there are tougher forces protecting that corridor. Why they didn't try to go back south, it could be maybe, the amount of men they lost over there, and then those towns of Kombocha and Desi, those towns that were kind of bigger towns. So maybe they can't push on there. But they seem to be pushing west. Now, it could be, it just so happened that they were in the area, they were not too far since they had just been pushed out, that they decided to launch a counteroffensive to retake those towns. I don't know what the strategic value would be to keep going west, unless they're trying to get to the border, in which case they might, get help from Sudan maybe, but that's a very long way to go. Another thing you would think that they would do, if they're not pushing down south, they're not pushing east, I would have think then they would have moved back into Tigray and prepare for battle on the Tigray soil. But they seem to be pushing west. I've seen some Western propaganda reports saying that they want to get to Nefes Mucha and the city of Deborah Zibit. I don't know what's in those cities, so maybe that could be also too. It could be for resources. Maybe they're trying to push there because to get resources. Maybe that's the reason why they're pushing in that area. I don't understand it. Another thing I've heard, though, that maybe could be the reason why they're influenced in this way to push this direction, is that the Ethiopian military have actually taken the A2 highway. They have fire control of this A2 highway, which is the Woldiya-Mekelle highway. Mekelle is the capital city of Tigray. So the route leading to Tigray. And from what I've heard so far, is that the Ethiopian National Defense Forces have fire control of this highway, and it states that they have cut off forces south of Kobo. So that being saying that they have cut off any forces south of Kobo is cut off, will mean then that the Ethiopian forces are in Kobo, but it doesn't specifically say so. Or maybe they just have fire control of the highway. Now that could influence TPLF if they are cut off here and there's no way for them to go back north, and they're not doing much. They're not doing much in case when it comes to advancing to go east. They can't go south. Maybe that's what's influencing them to push west. So I'm still trying to get an understanding of what the thought is going to try to recapture those cities. As I said, it could be for resources. It could just be that because they are hemmed in, they need resources. So there's Lalibela. Then let's come back down here to Gashena. So yeah, apparently they're trying to move off this highway B2 of this highway and get to Debre Zibit. I know that one of the trucks that was destroyed with the drones were found on this route. So we have to keep watching. Again, I hope the Ethiopian government continue to progress. I hope they didn't think that the TPLF would just give up just because they lost those towns. But the good news is that they are not pushing further south, possibly because they can't. They're not pushing east, or they haven't successfully pushed east. Again, probably because they can't. But it's a puzzle to me. I'll be frank and say why they're pushing west. I don't understand it. Maybe there's somewhere way here that can either open up a route for them to come back down south, or maybe go up north. If in fact this route, the Woldiya-Mekelle route is closed. But this is the update for today, December 14. I will be reaching out to you. Hopefully there will be more updates, preferably in the favor of the Ethiopian government. Now, regardless of my leanings is clear. I am pro Ethiopian government. TPLF is a terrorist outfit. They starved their own people during the Ethiopian civil war when they were fighting the Derg. They starved the Tigrayan people. They're only using those people. They are a puppet of the U.S. government. But when I talk about this stuff militarily, I would try to be as objective as I can. I'll be as objective and talk about the facts, the military facts. So, capturing Gashena and Lalibela is a setback for the Ethiopian government, mainly from the perspective that, not so much from a strategic perspective. And Gashena may be strategic, but Lalibela is more symbolic because it is the site of the UNESCO World Heritage. The UNESCO World Heritage site is up there, but Gashena is the more important place, and they're fighting around there, and apparently they have taken it. Well, until the next time, until I see you guys the next time, stay safe, and let's hope the Ethiopian government win. A win for the Ethiopian government is a win for all of Africa. All right. Thank you, folks. Goodbye.